Welcome back to Legendary Encounters, alien deck building game. Let's begin then with the Gunner, and he has his 6 cards drawn for this turn, and of course the first thing we need to do is move one of the Hive deck cards down into the complex. So now we have one in the ventilation shafts, one in the power station. So the 6 cards that the Gunner has drawn this time are... Looks like he has 2 attack and 4 recruit. So with 2 attack, we need 3 attack to scan the power station. So his attack this turn is useless. So he has 4 recruit points. So if we look here, I think he's going to recruit this one, find it and kill it. Chief Engineer Parker. And this one, let's have a look here. It is a coordinate card, which means he can play it on his turn to aid the commander. And that would be 2 attack, and it costs 4. So we're going to put that in his discard pile, and that's going to be the Gunner's turn. Next up will be the Commander. Alright, so now it is the Commander's turn, and of course the first thing is a Hive card goes into the complex, which is now pushing all of these down, filling up quickly. And the Commander's 6 cards are, he drew his special card. But before we get into that, I had to reshuffle the Gunner's cards, and he drew his new hand of 6 cards. So this is the Gunner's hand, and actually now the reason I'm doing this is the Gunner has shuffled in the card that he just bought now is the Coordinate. It's going to give 2 attacks. So he's going to play that card down here, which is going to be usable by the Commander, and then he just draws another replacement card for his hand. So that is the Gunner playing a Coordinate card on the Commander's turn. Alright, so the Commander's cards, like I said, he actually has his special card here. So we'll take a look at that one, and that is the Report for Duty card. And it says draw a card. Well, the first thing we do is we draw a card, he draws another specialist. And at the bottom it says, once this turn you may gain a sergeant or a character in the HQ that costs 3 or less. So, and I forgot to replace this card here. So he can just automatically recruit a sergeant for free, or any card in the HQ here that is cost 3 or less. So what does he really want to do? I think he will take another sergeant. So this will just go into his discard pile, and he played that card down. Now, because the Gunner played this card, he gets 2 attack, so he has 2 attack, 3, actually has a total of 4 attack, so he has enough to scan any of the locations here if he wants to. So why don't we go ahead and play the 2 coordinated attack plus the 2 other attack. We'll scan the ventilation shafts once more. And it's another egg. Well, that's not fantastic, but that's the way it is. Now he also has 4 recruit points to use right here in the HQ area. So I think he's going to take repair the ship, and it costs 4 right here. And it says when you draw a new hand at the end of your turn, if the power station is clear, draw an extra card. So what that means is if the power station location up here is free when the Commander plays that card, then he can draw 7 cards instead of 6 for his next turn. Alright, so the Commander then will discard his newly bought card and all the rest of them, and he'll draw himself a new hand. And now this Coordinate card that the Gunner played goes into the Gunner's discard pile. Alright, so I will shuffle up the Commander's hand, and he'll draw 6 new cards, and then it will be the Gunner's turn again. And of course now on the Gunner's turn, I forgot to replace the card here in the barracks again, so we get Expert Navigator, draw a card with a certain symbol attached to it. So it is now the Gunner's turn, but again, this is now the Commander's hand that he just drew this time, and he has a Coordinate card. So the Commander now is going to play this Coordinate card to help out the Gunner. So he'll play that down, And yes, I'm doing things slightly out of order. First thing we need to do is, I think I skipped that last time, didn't I? I believe I did, so I'm going to have to draw out 2 cards this time. One here, one here. I missed it on the commander's turn. Things are filling up very quickly here. And so probably messing things up. But anyway, the commander is going to play that coordinate card for the gunner. And so let's have a look at the gunner's cards. And the gunner has 3 attack. So with those 3 attack, right now he's going to destroy this egg. We'll get rid of that. And then he's going to have 5 recruit points, 2 for the sergeant that the commander has played to coordinate with him, and 3 of his own. So he has a 5 recruit points, and he will recruit this card out of the barracks, the electric prod, Chief Engineer Parker card. And it says, once this turn you may move an enemy or hidden card to any clear room in the complex. And if you play that symbol on a card first and then play this card afterwards, you'll get to use that ability. So that's pretty good. So that's the gunner's turn. Discard pile. The sergeant goes into the commander's discard pile. And now it will be back to the commander's turn. Okay, so on the commander's turn now, the just finishing up here, drawing the gunner's 6 cards, but he does not have any coordinate cards to help out the commander this turn. So again, first thing we do is a card from the hive deck goes into the complex. The complex now is completely full. That's getting a little dangerous. What do we have in the commander's hand? Well, oh, and I forgot to, when you play a coordinate card, you are to draw a card to replace the coordinate card you played. So he does now have 6 cards in his hand. He has his special card, which he's going to play, which says draw a card. And I can just recruit a sergeant or a card worth 3 or less. And of course I didn't fill up the barracks again, so I draw a card for my report for duty. And now I can't remember. I don't think yes, I did add a card. Wow. I added a card. So how much attack do I have? I have only 2 attack points, but I have 4 recruit. Well, I can get a card for free that costs 3 or less. So I'm going to take Expert Navigator Labyrinth. Let's draw a card. So if I play a card with this symbol first, and then I get to play the second, I get to draw an extra card. So that will go into the discard pile. We will replace that. So again, I have 4 recruit, and I will recruit this card, which is Repair the Ship. And that's when you draw a new hand. If the power station's free, you get draw an extra card, and it's worth 2 attack. And that's going to cost me my 4 recruit points. I only have 2 attack, and I will scan the med lab. And in the med lab, we have the first part of the SOS. All right, so that goes to operations. We're halfway to completing objective 1. Okay, that's the end of the commander's turn. So all of his cards go to the discard pile. He'll draw 6 new cards, and then it will be the gunner's turn again. All right, so I'm going to do 2 more turns. Of course, now it is the gunner's turn, and the first thing that happens, of course, is we need to add a hive card to the complex. The complex is once again completely full. And now this is the commander's hand, and the commander does have another coordinate card, so he's going to play his sergeant. It has the little orange symbol here, so he's going to play that to help out the gunner, and he gets to draw another card to make 6 in his hand. And now it is the gunner's turn. And so the gunner's 6 cards are, what does he have? He has a special card. So this was draw a card. So he will play that. I'll try and do this down here. Play that. He will draw a card. It's another recruit. So he has 4. Actually, he's going to have 5 recruit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to have 8 recruit points. Of course, I forgot to replace the card in there again. Trying to keep track of everything. So for his total attack, he's going to have one. He's going to have 2 attack only. So with 2 attack, he might as well scan the med lab. Let's have a look here. And we have our first event. So this is an event card. So it's not too fantastic because when we're in Objective 1 and we look at the event, it's rough landing. You and the next player each draw a strike. So we're going to see our first wounds happening. So before I get to do any of my recruiting, the gunner must draw a strike, and the gunner gets a brutal puncture strike. And yes, these things are pretty graphic. And that does 3 damage to me. It is curable though. So the gunner now, instead of having 11 hit points, has 3 knocked out of him. He is down to 8 hit points. And now the commander as well must draw a strike card, and the commander strike card is the same thing, another brutal puncture. So he goes from 11 hit points down to 8 as well. So that event from the rough landing, not a good thing. However, now the gunner has a ton of recruit points. He gets 2 from the coordinate card, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. But we didn't have this symbol played anywhere first, so this does not activate, unfortunately for us. But we're going to have 8 recruit points. So I think the first thing, of course, we're going to do for 6 recruit points is we're going to take this coordinate card. Costs 6. That leaves us 2 recruit points. It is 3 damage, but it is a coordinate, so that's a pretty good card. So that's 6. I have 2 left. We have to replace the card. And I think I will go ahead and get one of the Captain Dallas cards. It's the 2. It's look at the top 2 cards of the barracks deck. One on the top, one on the bottom, and it's worth 2 recruit. It has that symbol on it. So, and we replace that. It's another one of those 3 coordinates. That is going to be the gunner's turn. Of course, all those cards now go into the discard pile. I'll need to reshuffle and drop a new hand for him. And the Sergeant Coordinate card is going to go to the commander's discard pile. All right, so the last turn coming right up is going to be the commander's turn. Then we'll break off this episode and pick it up next time. Okay, so it's the commander's turn, and of course the first thing, our complex is going to be full again. Wow. So far we've managed not to have anything coming into the combat zone, and I've reshuffled and looked at the gunner's cards, and he does not have anything to coordinate this time, so the commander here is on his own with his 6 cards. So let's see what he can do. He has repair the ship card, which is 2 attack, 3. Looks like he has a total of 4 attack and 3 recruit. 4 attack and 3 recruit. Well, let's go ahead and use 2 of our attack points to scan the airlock, and the airlock is an ambushed medic, and that takes 4 attack to get rid of. Death. When you kill the ambushed medic enemy alien, you may heal a strike, so that is pretty good. That's 2 attack to reveal that area, and 2 more attack. We might as well scan the med lab while we're at it. Oh man, and we get another event. Well, that sucks because we're still on Objective 1, and an event means a rough landing. We both take a strike. So the commander takes another strike, which is a contaminated wound. And this strike can't be healed. So the strikes that can't be healed are the bright red numbers. So that is a permanent damage for our commander. So he now has 4 damage. He's down to 7 hit points, which is pretty sad for him. And now the strike that is going to go on the gunner, because we each take 1. And this is a damaged hand. It says at the start of your turn, discard this and 2 random cards from your hand. So instead of adding damage, it's actually going to damage the gunner's deck. Wow, that's not good either. All right, notice how fun things happen in this game. All right, that's using up the commander's attack points. The commander now has 3 recruit points, and that is all he has. So with 3 recruit points, I think he's going to take the first aid card, Warrant Officer Ripley, Again, we must play a card first that has this symbol if we want to be able to use the text ability, but it's still worth 2 recruit. So the commander will recruit that card. We replace it in the barracks with "You Are My Lucky Star." That's a good card. We'll look at that when and if it comes into effect later. So that's it. Commander discards his hand. He's going to be drawing up to 6. And that is going to be, I think, the end of part 2 here. Next time will be part 3, where the gunner is already going to randomly lose 2 cards out of his hand before we even begin. So things are not looking so horrible, but not looking so great. And as you get further down the hive deck, things get, of course, much, much more difficult. So we have to ramp up pretty heavily, or we're going to be in some serious trouble. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Join me next time as we try to find the second part of the SOS, completing Objective 1 and move on to Objective 2. All right, thanks for watching.